tell us more about, Jerry's thought on leadership that you've heard, directly from him. You've been a part of the PSL, I think, a couple of times.
In terms of actual leadership, Becoming a Technical Leader is one of his most important books.
Yes.
And that in fact is where he talks about some of the difference between management and leadership,
Yeah.
and how in order to gain credibility as a technical leader,
Yes.
there are certain things you need to do.
Yeah.
One of them is to demonstrate technical expertise.
Yes.
You need to be able to, and for a testing
Yeah.
leader, that's probably knowing a lot about testing.
Yeah.
And understanding about testing, and also, of course, understanding about the software. But the testing expertise is probably more important to inspire the people around you. And I think that's it's leadership is inspiring rather than directing.
Yes.
Jerry said famously, whatever the problem looks like, it's always a people problem.
Yes.
And I think that is something that I've certainly always taken to heart in my work generally. I think it's true. So you start to look for,
Yeah.
where is the people problem? What is it? Where is it coming from? Is it how people are rewarded? One of the differences that we found in more old-fashioned testing, but I'm not sure it's not still there in the world of Agile, is that programmers were often, and project managers were rewarded for fast,
Yeah.
and testers were rewarded for something quite different.
Yeah.
And where the rewards clash.
Yeah, there was clash. I've been there. Yeah, been there. It's hard. It's pretty hard. And one of the things that I did during that time is to go challenge the culture and try to change the culture. Because
Yes.
I said we are trying to be counterproductive,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not a good way to produce software, and you'll end up hurting the people on both sides.
Yeah. The other thing I think is and to some extent this has been alleviated by Agile is the separation that was introduced in the 80s between programmers and testers. And in fact operations, as we heard in this morning's keynote, and the sort of separation of responsibility. And I remember managers saying things like, you can't go talk to the programmers, you'll get co-opted. Well, for heaven's sake, we've gone back to a world that's much more like the world I began in, where we all work together to produce the best thing we could. And we didn't have that separation. We learned from each other.